Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to ShootOut for the eagerly anticipated series, Premier League predictions, George versus Eunice. Last week, I've got to say it was all my fault. I screwed up with getting all the graphics and stuff done on time, and the matches were basically already finished before I realised that I was an absolute numpty. So you can absolutely scold me in the comments if you wish, but we do have the scores because you can see that this is what Eunice and I predicted last week, and it was a narrow victory for yours truly. 5 points to me, 4 for Eunice. No correct scores, but 5 correct results for me and 4 for Eunice. Big Eunice, are you looking forward to another sumptuous medley of football for this weekend?
I am, good sir. And this is going to be an interesting one. I want to off the bat say that the scheduling of the Premier League this weekend is an absolute farce. How you can have 4 games on the Saturday and then 4 2 p.m. kickoffs on the Sunday. And the televised game in the UK is West Ham Palace, where at the same time Chelsea versus Brighton and Liverpool Fulham are happening. I don't understand. So it's an absolute joke. For all that are watching internationally, this doesn't concern you, and you're absolutely fantastic. You can watch whatever you want. In the UK, you're screwed.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where they're like, well, West Ham are European champions and Chelsea are a mid-table club, so priorities are now in line? I don't know. For me, that's also nonsense. I remember, I don't know about you, but my favourite thing was like 6 or 7 3 p.m. kickoffs on a Saturday, Gillette Soccer Saturday on, and then it made Super Sunday super because it didn't matter what the game was. It would always just be the most exciting part of the weekend, and Saturday afternoon was just like a coming together of everything. You got loads of scores to analyse, but we start this week with Brentford versus Luton. It really doesn't get much bigger than this, does it? West London and North London and a bit more Hertfordshire way. Luton, they got a win last week, mate. Do you think they can keep this going?
You'd think that there would be a good chance for them to do so, but I want to say no. I want to say, look, you get a result like this for a team like Luton once in a while. And Brentford at home, you expect, even though they've lost their last 2, but Brentford at home, you expect to turn it around and pick up a win. Luton, you're not going to be winning every week. And for that reason, I suspect a Brentford narrow win against Luton at home.
Okay, what's it going to be though? What's the score line? Because I've got one in mind, but I'm going to try not to make it the same as yours. You can go first this week.
All right, I'll go first. In that case, I reckon Brentford 2, Luton 0. 2-0.
Okay, in that case, I will give Luton a goal, and I will say Brentford 2, Luton 1. The points are getting closer now, so I'm going to actually this week, my predictions are going to be what I actually think the score is going to be, instead of tactically trying to manipulate my way back to the top of the leaderboard. Arsenal versus Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yep.
Arsenal are top of the league, mate. Quietly, I would say, going about another title charge, aren't they?
I mean, look, they're always going to be in that conversation, right? Whether they're going to go all the way is a different story, but they're in that conversation. And if you look at everyone else that are meant to be in that conversation, Liverpool, definitely there. Aston Villa, so Arsenal are going to be in the title race. But they're going to get moments in this season like now where they find themselves top. And, we got Kai Havertz scoring a winner. That stung us a little bit. But with Arsenal, they're playing well. They are consistent, and that's the most important thing. And at home especially, they just don't look like they're going to get beat. So, going into this against Wolves that are hit and miss, you expect Arsenal to get it, don't you?
Yeah, I think this could be a comfortable afternoon for them. I think that's the thing with Arsenal this year. I expect them to have maybe less wow moments and more just we're a good team now. We're going to win this game. It's not going to be straightforward, but we're going to just get the job done.
Yeah.
I think they'll score a couple here, and I think it will be 2-0. I don't think Wolves are going to score. I watched the Fulham-Wolves game accidentally on Monday because I woke up at 4 in the morning. I just stuck it on. But Wolves are not bad, They're really not. But I just think Arsenal will have enough. They're looking good defensively too. I'm saying 2-0 to the Gunners. What is your score prediction, Big U?
Yeah, no, just to add to that, You're right. The game against Fulham, you would say Wolves got robbed if we're calling a buck, because that whole VAR decision was outrageous. Arsenal, on the other hand, look, they've just come out the Champions League 6-0 against Lens at home, and this is exactly why I'm saying, look, at home they're gonna get results, and I just think like Wolves are not going to give enough in order to compete with Arsenal at the moment at the Emirates. I'm gonna go 3-0. I'm going to take it one step further.
3-0 to Arsenal.
Yep.
Okay. No, I think that's a fair result. This game next, though, Burnley, Sheffield United. If you look at the league table, it will tell you that these aren't the two worst teams in the league, but Everton have been hard done by. They've got a point deduction, clearly better than both Burnley and Sheffield United. Between them, they don't even have 10 points, and they've played 26 matches between them. It's a shambles. They are by far the worst two teams. And I just don't think there's any way here. Oh, the cat's getting involved. What, are you disagreeing with me? Do you think Burnley are actually good? She also thinks the wall's going to fall down. Can you knock me out like that?
Go on,
just
cat.
Go and sit down. Have a little nap. Bloody hell, she's off the charts, mate. What's the score in this one? Please tell me it's not going to be 0-0.
Well, I think we should start with the cat. What's the cat's prediction?
Bro, she's giving me the devil. Everything, when we start filming ShootOut in this bedroom, everything gets weird. She's like looking at me as if to say like, you're the devil, I hate you. What do you want? Look, let me go get her. Hang on. You're in. You can give me your score prediction as I'm grabbing the old puss.
All right, we will we will hear the cat's prediction very shortly. The cat's expertise for Burnley, Sheffield United. That's the one that's going to give us the correct scoreline, I reckon. I am going to go. Look, Burnley, Sheffield United. This is look, for the first time this season for both of these teams, I can truly say I don't know what's going to happen. Because normally we look at Burnley and Sheffield United and go, yeah, you guys have lost, right? But for now they face each other, I can't call it. This is the battle of the worst. So however, I will say who's more likely to get a result, even though Burnley are at home, you have to give it to Sheffield United. They are the ones that have managed to they've managed to get a win lately. They've got a draw lately. Burnley are 5 losses on the bounce. It's just looking really, really bad for Burnley. This is the opportunity for Burnley to get something, but I just can't see where they're going to get it from. So I'm going to say that, look, they're both so bad that I'm just going to call it down the middle, and I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, I was going to say 1-1, but I'm not now. I'm going to say Burnley to win 2-1, just to be different and just,
Burnley win 2-1.
Give them a chance. Why not, mate? Like, I mean, they're a good team last season. It's one of those where it's like, if one of us was ever going to play this predictions game and say the answer, no comment, this could have been that game where no comment would have sufficed and we'd probably give each other 3 points for it just by default. But I think Burnley are going to get the win now. I've just seen it. I've seen the future. That's my 3-pointer for the weekend, coming right at you.
I think you've just given me points. Thank you very much.
Probably, because it will probably be 0-0. What about Nottingham Forest versus Everton?
Okay, now this one is a bit more interesting because Nottingham Forest are down there as well in the mix, and Everton you could say Everton have been done with this whole 10-point situation. If they weren't done with the 10 points, they would be neck and neck with Nottingham Forest at the moment. It's a little bit tough to call with Nottingham Forest being at home. Everton haven't actually been they've not been bad. And their last result...
No, they've been good, I think.
Their last result against Man United... Look, Everton actually performed quite well on the day. Man United, I thought, got the result. That's the most important thing. So, bearing that in mind, and Nottingham Forest losing their last 2... I've got a feeling Everton, with the situation that they're in, how desperate they're going to be, might actually get the result here. That's my inkling. That's how I think it's going to steer. What do you think?
I've got a little sneaky suspicion as well that they might snatch a win here. I think they're going to grind out the most Sean Dyche-esque performance and get a 1-0 win away at Nottingham Forest. The cat is disturbing me here. It's disturbing my rhythm. But it's going to be a 1-0 Everton win, mate.
Cat wants to get involved.
I had a funny feeling I was about to get a book in there. Oh, shut up, woman! God alive!
Try and no.
We're a family channel, aren't we?
Well, yeah, no, that's it. And look, the cat can get involved with the predictions as well. If the cat's giving us a score, let us know.
She's gone with a 0-1, mate. She agrees with me.
She agrees with you. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she's daddy's girl.
Nottingham Forest, I am going to go with... I'm going to go Everton win as well. I'm going to take it one step further. And I'm going to say Nottingham Forest 1, Everton 2.
Blimey. All right, sounds like a corker. Newcastle, Man United, a game that really is billed here as a corker. I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking, right, surely Man United are due a kind of like coming back down to earth game. Because even though they're the informed team points-wise in the Premier League for like the last 7 or 8 matches or something daft, Onana drops an absolute clanger again against Galatasaray in the Champions League. They're pretty much out of the Champions League, so I don't think they're going to get beat. They're going to beat Bayern Munich at home, even though Bayern are through. And Newcastle, like, they weren't great against Chelsea, but they were just very good at what they were doing. And I've just got a feeling they're going to do exactly what they did to Chelsea last week and put Man United back down, like, off the pedestal. What do you think?
I agree. I think, look, it's crazy that when you look on paper, Man United have got results in the league. And that is the most important thing. But when you actually go back and look at how they got those results, it's just not going to be sustainable when you know that they are going to fall. It's a matter of time. They are going to fall. And I think, well, with the Champions League now, that is definitely going to hit morale. That is definitely going to, let's say, hit their feelings. They are down right now, knowing that they're going to be knocked out of the Champions League. Maybe not even playing Europa. So bearing that in mind, I agree with you. Newcastle got the job done against Chelsea very effectively, very efficiently. They are consistent. They know exactly how to get the job done. They are solid. And I think that's why Man United are not going to find a way through. I do reckon Newcastle will get a similar result. I don't think it'll be much of a battering. I don't think they'll win 4-1. I think, we capitulated. But I do reckon that Newcastle will pick up. I want to say 3-0, but I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to say Newcastle 3, Man United 1. They'll probably score 1 and they'll still end up not getting any points whatsoever. So Newcastle to pick up the 3 points. I'm going 3-1.
Okay. I'm going to go with 3-2 Newcastle, and I think Man United are going to go on like some kind of resurgence at the end of the game. I think it'll be 3-0, and then Bruno and Rashford are both going to score, and then there's going to be like a late penalty shout that doesn't get given, and Man United get beaten by Newcastle United. 3-2 win, I'm saying. Chelsea, Brighton.
Man United not getting a penalty shout, that's new.
No, I think this is going to be like a changing of the guard in the Premier League, Like Newcastle are going to be the new favoured team now because of all that Saudi money to pay referees. There you go, I just triggered a few people. Why not? All right? It's normally Chelsea that are paying someone. So that is the next game, Chelsea-Brighton. What do you think?
I mean, look, we're going to get into this detail on our channels as well and give our predictions and whatnot. This is my first time thinking about this game in terms of prediction. Oh
no.
I can't help but think that... Look, Chelsea have no excuse here, right? Not to get a result. There's no excuse because Brighton are coming into this game with 11 players injured. They are coming into this game having played a Europa League game that they beat. They beat Athens 1-0 away from home. They've travelled all the way to Greece. And Chelsea have had 1 week to prepare for this game, and there aren't any other absentees except for the fullbacks that have got suspensions. Bearing that in mind, Chelsea have to play with a flat centre-back back four because there are no fullbacks. So that is something to take into consideration. we haven't got Cucurella, Reece James, Augusto. So we're going to go with 4 central defenders in that back line. That is what I'm expecting, and that is what I'm scared of. So realistically, Chelsea should get a result here, man. We should, and if they don't, we are in the mud. But I genuinely, I can't call it. I really can't call it. I don't know what Chelsea are going to show up. Because there's a chance we might just throw it away. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Before I give my prediction, what do you think?
I think, bro, honestly, I think this game, between like 0 goals in a match and 12, I think this game could be any score between 0-0 and 6-6. Because Brighton score always and concede always. We've conceded 8 in the last 2 matches. And I think both teams are going to kind of look at it and be like, right, if we go out here and try and play, this lot are beatable. And I think as a result of that, we're going to have a blisteringly open game of football.
Yeah.
But I can't split the 2 teams. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it finishes Chelsea 3, Brighton 3. I don't think we're going to win because I don't necessarily think we're better than Brighton. But I do think we're going to score against their weak defence, and I think they're going to pummel us as well. 3-3. I'm going absolutely bonkers in this one. 3-3.
No, you're not wrong. And can I just stress, Chelsea not getting a win is a calamity, by the way, because this is a must-win. It's a must. And I agree with you. I heard Paul Merson give his prediction. He's been accurate with the Chelsea scores. He says 2-2. I can't help but think that that is exactly what's going to happen as well. I agree with you. I think it's going to be an open game. I think there will be space for Chelsea to get into. And I think in terms of the attack, Chelsea will have opportunities. But I do think we are going to be susceptible at the back, even more so than ever because of the 4 central defenders. Brighton on paper look weak, but we know they're not going to be weak. They have a system that works under De Zerbi, and I think they will score. So I do agree with that sentiment, and I'm going to say Chelsea 2, Brighton 2 as well.
Oh dear. So next Chelsea video that we do on Monday or Tuesday is not going to have the greatest of tones based on what we think is going to happen here, to be fair. Liverpool-Fulham is the next game.
This should be pretty straightforward, if I'm being real. Fulham got that win against Wolves, and we saw how it went down. But Liverpool, I would say, this is going to be... in terms of the whole season, I think are the most improved team. They started the season pretty bad. There was doubts, there were questions, They were like, what's going on? They've found their rhythm. Testament to good management, good blend, good team. And they are now in a rhythm and they find themselves competing in the title race. So they're at home. I'm going straightforward win here. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to say Liverpool 3. And I'll give Fulham a goal. I think Fulham might score 1. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay, I think Alisson might be injured for this game, which is not ideal for Liverpool, but Kelleher's going to come in. I don't see Fulham scoring here. They scored 3 the other night, but it was a penalty, one of them. Willian, very well done. Great, well played. I just think Liverpool will be solid. I think 3-0 Liverpool, comprehensive, comfortable win at Anfield. West Ham versus Crystal Palace, the game that apparently the UK public are desperate to see over Liverpool, over Chelsea, and even over Aston Villa, who I think are playing at exactly the same time. What do you think is going to happen here? West Ham Palace. West Ham have won 2 in a row. Palace have lost their last 2. Chelsea are going to be looking at this one, aren't we? We're 4 points behind West Ham and 3 points ahead of Palace. Who are we more worried about here? Do we want to chase West Ham or are we looking over our shoulders?
Look, can I just say off the bat, West Ham Palace, if this was the 60s, this would be game of the weekend, right? Because this is East London versus South London. This is the Cray twins versus the Richardsons. This is absolute chaos between the two. You'd be surprised. On a footballing level now in 2023, I don't get how this game gets televised, but. West Ham Palace is an interesting one because, look, West Ham you'd expect to be the favourites here. They've been hit and miss, and only up until the last 2 games they've started winning again. Before that, they were on a losing streak. So there's that. Although Crystal Palace, who started off the season quite well, have now hit the opposite. They're more on a losing streak right now, and they're not looking so good under Roy Hodgson. His job is under threat, apparently, and I'm not surprised. I think he needs to retire now, man. Give the guy a break. Let him get his pension and let him put his feet up. Because
let him go. Let him be.
It's getting ridiculous. Roy Hodgson, please stop. For your own health, stop. So I'm going to go for this whole reason, and I think West Ham being at home is the advantage here. I'm going to go with the narrow West Ham win. Overall, I reckon that they might get the result. I don't see Palace having enough, let's say, minerals in order for them to go and get the job done. So I reckon that's how it's going to go.
I was about to go and get my yellow trainers and a yellow tennis ball and show you the card. That was the closest we've been to a booking. for a while.
I play on the limit, mate.
It really was
You know,
close.
I make sure I put in the challenges and I take the player out, but I don't bring the studs out.
Well, you've done well there. You've avoided it. You've been paying the referees as well. 2-1 to West Ham is my score prediction. I think Palace will go ahead, but I think West Ham will win the game. What are you going for?
I'm going to go 2-0. I don't think Palace score. I think West Ham, comfortable win at home.
Okay, nice one. Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. It's the next game on a Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. kickoff. Villa, like you mentioned there, Villa are in the title race.
They are now.
I've kind of been suggesting this for a while. And Unai Emery has just absolutely got that team ticking, firing, all of those little words that you'd want to use. And I think this is a great fixture to show some staying power. I mean, Bournemouth have not really been the best this season. They're 16th. They've won 3 of their last 4, so they've come into a bit of form. And this is one of those games where, if you're looking at Aston Villa as title challengers, this is a banana skin because Bournemouth are in form. So if they can go to Bournemouth and get a result here, then I think once again, no matter how they get it done, whether it's ugly, beautiful, whatever, it doesn't matter. These are the games you've got to win if you not only want to be a Champions League contender, but if you want people to start taking a title challenge charge seriously, must-win game. How do you think this one's going to play out?
Look, I completely agree, and I want to give credit to Aston Villa and Unai Emery. And look, I think what Aston Villa have done and what Unai Emery have done is the blueprint for anyone to know that the manager has a level of responsibility, no matter where it is, in order to get a team playing, right? There is, because Unai Emery's walked into an Aston Villa team that people thought were average, and he's got them, after 13 games, in a title race. It's pretty crazy. 2 points off the top, and who knows? Who knows if results go left this weekend and Aston Villa win, they might be top of the table. They might. So, look, credit to Unai Emery, credit to Aston Villa, absolutely unbelievable. And this is the thing, right now, you can't bet against them. You just know that they are efficient, they're solid, they're clinical. They're a team that don't get many chances, but they do know how to put away the ones that do come their way. So I reckon for that reason, them being even away at Bournemouth, I suspect Aston Villa to get the result. So I am going to go with Bournemouth. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 2. I was going to say Bournemouth to score, but I'm going to say no. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 2.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to change my prediction. I was going to say 2-0. I will go with an Aston Villa 3-0. I just think they've just got so many goals in that team. Like when they go, Ollie Watkins is unbelievable. Like what a striker
class.
He actually is. Like that finish last week at Spurs is phenomenal.
Yep.
Like he was magnificent. Like he leads the line so well. You add the pace and then you add like the steel that they have in that midfield now. I think they're a real force. The game of the weekend though, arguable. City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs, 3 defeats in a row. Man City, when they're not top of the league, the first thing that comes to your mind is everything okay? Are you doing all right, mate? And I have a funny feeling that this will be one of those weekends where anyone who questions Guardiola, anyone who questions that squad, even though Spurs have been pretty good against City over the years, I think this is one of those games where the big guns step up for Man City. And I'm going to throw my score prediction out early. And I want to see what you think about this game also. I think City are going to win 4-1. Spurs love a 4-1, especially a loss, as Chelsea fans will know. I think Haaland maybe scores a hat-trick in this one. It's going to be convincing. It's going to be comfortable. And it's season over for Tottenham Hotspur. 4 defeats in a row. What's it going to be, Eunice? City got to win this, surely.
You know what, mate? This result, this prediction is going to sound crazy, but I think it makes all footballing sense. I think Tottenham are going to get battered. I'm not saying that just for the sake of Tottenham getting battered. I'm not. I am genuinely serious. I think they're going to get wrecked. Why? I can't see Ange Postecoglou even looking at this game against City and going, okay, you know what? I might have to change the way that I like to set up. He seems like he's someone that's willing to just die on his sword and just go all guns blazing. Even he would fit the film 300 perfectly, yeah? 300 soldiers against under 10,000. He's the sort of guy that goes, screw it, lads, just go all out attack, even though you're all going to get killed, right? And against Man City at home, at the Etihad, I still think Postecoglou is going to set them up, even with the limitations that they have in terms of the players that are unavailable. I still think he's going to set them up to go all guns blazing. And that's the worst thing you can do against Manchester City. So for this reason alone, I just see Man City killing them. And we've seen Tottenham over the last few games. It's not gone well. It will continue to not go well. And look, if this was another manager, I would suspect that, yeah, maybe Tottenham can get something. I'm going 5-0 City.
I absolutely love it. Like, people should stay to the end of the shootout videos because either walls fall down or we just stick Tottenham where they belong, which is underneath our shoes. Pile of dog poo. That is it again. You can see on the screen right here our predictions for the Premier League game week. I think it is 14.
It is,
We're flying through the season right now. Let us know your predictions in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to win? When you look at our predictions here, there's a lot of similar results, but not necessarily same scores because we've tried to go for different scores. Eunice, you got anything to add before we wrap this one up and see the folks once the football's been played?
Well, that's it. We'll see all of you after this is all said and done. And it's going to be a very interesting weekend. And looking forward to, hopefully, Tottenham getting wrecked if it means that it saves our weekend if we don't get a result against Brighton. So, look, we'll see how it goes. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And we will catch you after this is all said and done. And we'll give you our reaction.
Peace!